name's Brandon Savage. It's June 2024, and as such, it is holiday season. I'm coming to you from my office like I normally am. I'm with my family traveling into a family reunion in Canada. For those of you that are joining us from the Northern Hemisphere, it's the time of the year where there's a lot of vacations. VOZIQ was with his family on vacation last week. I know that Doug's got trips planned this summer as well. I'm the head of solution enablement at VOZIQ, and I've spent 20 years as a customer experience and operations leader in businesses. I'm going to turn the time over briefly to Vasu and Doug to introduce themselves, and then I'll set the foundation for our presentation today by Vasu.
Yeah.
Vasu, go
Brandon,
ahead.
the audio
Take it away.
is still a little choppy. Maybe let's see if there's something you can do. If not, I will take this from here. Thank you everyone again for joining. Thank you, Brandon, for the background. Wonderful for joining, right? So this is the world where we are, right? Technology is amazing. It's working from all corners of the country. Brandon is able to join from his camping on the way to drive and all of that, right? So AI is another exciting technology that is allowing us to realize some impressive benefits. We will talk through that, but my background, about 25 years of experience in bringing data-driven solutions. My team that I lead from VOZIQ includes about 100 plus data scientists, data engineers, IT specialists, all focused on one problem: how to drive economic value for subscription businesses. So that's the only thing that we focus on. I'm particularly excited about the webinar today because it has a combination of 3 different research conclusions. One is from PwC, one is from Gartner, one is from Booz Allen Hamilton on how to enable AI and what are the pitfalls and barriers to success. And I will address from my own experience in how we uncover those things and cross those barriers and drive millions of dollars of value for your organization. With that as the background, Doug?
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Doug Shapiro. I'm the Chief Sales Officer, and I've been in the customer relationship retention management business for some 30 years. Most of my executives that I work with think of me as an advisor to customer value, focused on increasing customer retention and profitability. I'm super excited about our webinar today. I have some exciting things to introduce and some offers that hopefully you'll be able to take advantage of. And I'll turn it back to you now, Brandon.
All right, I'll go without video, and I'm hoping that my audio will be a bit more stable. How's that coming through, Vasu?
Yeah, it's pretty good now. Thank you.
Okay. So over the last 10 years, we've been working with subscription businesses, and we've learned to deeply understand their needs. Any subscription-based customer funnel looks like this, where you have getting your customers, keeping your customers, and growing your customers. Over the past decade, we have been able to enhance our solution to be able to help subscription-based companies in each of these areas. We initially started out when we launched over a decade ago in that center section of being able to keep customers, but we've been able to expand our solution to be able to provide meaningful solutions to help you acquire customers by leveraging AI, to retain your customers by leveraging AI, and then to grow your RMR, recurring monthly revenue base, through AI as well. So we go to the next slide here. Our journey has allowed us to be able to focus on partnering with these subscription businesses to be able to harness the power of AI for very tangible business impact. You can see as you look at the value delivered in terms of customer lifetime value for our existing customers, we've been able to drive significant increase in customer lifetime value with some of our customers as much as $100 million. Our focus today on these success stories is just a testament to our innovative approach to the remarkable efficacy of our artificial intelligence technology in driving real business results. Over the last year, we have spent time every month focusing on a variety of different webinars. This next slide, as you can see here, you see the topics as we've been able to try to share with potential customers how we can help your business, whether that's maximizing customer lifetime value, whether that's being able to transform your customer retention success from turning call centers into profit centers, to helping you to be able to create a business case for implementing artificial intelligence within your organization. Our goal of these webinars is to help you to be able to see how we can make a tangible impact within your business by harnessing the full potential of artificial intelligence driven growth. So I want to look at one of these studies that was done by Pricewaterhouse, is looking at future, particularly how artificial intelligence is going to impact the global economy over the next 6 years. The study was actually done over 7 years ago, and they looked at the 3 different areas that artificial intelligence was going to be able to really transform businesses. And they estimated at that time that AI was going to add $15.7 trillion to the global economy. If we look at where we are today, we're already well ahead of this curve. And what we're seeing is that AI is increasing labor productivity. It is helping to be able to personalize customer experiences, and it's able to enhance quality of delivering your services. So for subscription-based businesses, this means an unparalleled opportunity to be able to scale your operations, refine customer engagement, and significantly boost your enterprise value. But here's the challenge. Everyone is talking about artificial intelligence. Every company has that on their strategic plans. How are we going to be able to take artificial intelligence to make our business better? The challenge is, the Gartner study has shown just last year, 2023, that over 52% of AI projects, on average, never make it into production. They never are able to deliver that value. And so what we're going to share today is how partnering with us helps eliminate this risk, turn this 52% to 100%. And so I'm going to turn the time over to Vasu to talk about our ACE, our Center of Excellence. Vasu.
Awesome. Thank you, Brandon, and have safe driving and enjoy your family reunion. I really appreciate you joining and sharing your expertise on the call. For the rest of the webinar, in the next 15 minutes, we will talk through those research findings about, everyone wants AI, humongous value, but, half of them are, or more than half of them are failing to realize the value. Our response to that is what we call our AI Center of Excellence, right? So interestingly, that same Gartner study that Brandon mentioned, by the way, the name of the study, we can find this on the internet. It's Gartner's AI in the Enterprise Survey. This was done during 2023, and it actually goes into the details. 52% are never making it into production, and it identifies, like, these are the top reasons. Some of them are estimating and demonstrating AI value. In VOZIQ's case, we don't even start the project without a solid business case, right? So it's 100% aligning with our observations, but coming from Gartner is a huge validation for us. So I'm particularly excited about this particular study. The other one that they highlighted is lack of talent and skills. This is an emerging technology. Not everyone has the experience of doing these types of things. It takes time to train them, and then they're doing some of these things for the first time, figuring out how to do these things. And remember, it's not just about creating an AI model for something. This, for full potential realization, this is operationalizing, proving the ROI, demonstrating the success, making sure that the project turns on the successful side of realizing the value, not just creating the technology that collects dust, right? The other one that they highlighted is lack of confidence in the technological aspects of AI. Can AI really do this? Some of this looks magical, right? And the next one, we see this all the time. Your top numbers might be different. Maybe skills might be number one for you. Maybe data might be number two for you, right? Whatever that might be. But these are kind of interesting to see from the Gartner study that was as recent as 2023. We hear this lack of data all the time. We are in the process of migrating from this CRM to that CRM, or we don't have a full CRM implemented, or maybe our sales solution is different from our customer support solution, which is different from our field support solution, right? So, we hear this objection all the time, thinking that they're not ready, and we have a totally different opinion on that, how to mitigate that data situation, and we will talk about, our approach there. And then the other ones are lack of trust in AI. AI is saying that this is a high converting customer, spend all the time in closing that particular deal. How do I have the confidence to work on that? AI is saying, make this particular offer. How do I have the confidence in making that particular offer, right? So it's that trust angle. So instead of black box AI, we have our own ways of explaining that AI. We call it explainable AI. So many of these things are highly resonating with how we talk, what we hear from our prospects, and also when we deliver tens of millions of data, how did we overcome these challenges? So the takeaway from here is everybody wants AI. It has trillions of dollars in potential for the global GDP. For your own organization, whether you have 100,000 customers, 500,000 customers, million customers, upwards of that, I think all these things will be challenges that you will have to overcome on top of bringing the technology, right? So our response to that is, on top of the technology, make sure that this team that we are talking about, AI Center of Excellence, is fully equipped with data scientists and data engineers and data analysts and IT, QA support engineers and all of that. So at least we take away right away that challenge with experienced resources who have done it before, and bring all the diverse skills as you quickly bring AI into your organization and start taking advantage of this emerging technology that is proven to deliver millions of dollars in value. But the other key thing is these are multiple resources. They talk different languages, right? It's data science language, data engineering language, technology language. None of our customers want to hear that language. So we put a senior, what we call a transformation lead, on top of all these individual resources. And that particular transformation lead works as a single point of contact for our business champion. Our business champions are usually senior leaders, CEOs, CFOs, CMOs, COOs, or maybe SVPs and VPs. We operate at that level. And for them, they don't want to hear technology. They just want to see, what are the two things that I need to see? What are the resources I need to deploy? What is my next immediate opportunity? Should I work on sales first? Should I work on retention first? Whatever that might be, right? So they need simple coaching and simple management consulting. So what we found working very, very well to mitigate all the challenges that Gartner highlighted is put a senior consultant as the single point of contact, as the management consultant, to work with the business champion on our customer side, and then let that transformation lead orchestrate the change, regardless of which use case that is being highlighted, right? So that's proven to be a very, very successful model. Now, what that does is, for every sponsor from our implementations, you have a single partner in success. They bring a lot of implementation experience, and you have constant advice going on what is the priority for this quarter, what should we be doing next quarter, and not really quickly jump and say, let's deploy all these resources, do all these integrations that do nothing, right? We have already seen what works, what doesn't work, and the transformation lead becomes an advisor. Now, instead of looking at all the barriers on the left side, what that single transformational consultant brings is things on the right side, right? So instead of worrying about which use case to focus on first, they will figure out, look at your data and highlight, whether it is customer retention or, price optimization or referrals or upgrades or winbacks, whatever that use case might be that has the highest value for your organization, they will prioritize that and put a business case in your hand, right? We already talked about bullet point number 2 on the right side, bring the necessary resources so you don't have to hire them, train them, and deal with, their attrition and so on and so forth, right? All that. The other ones is, platform, AI platform, it has so many nuances, which algorithm to use, how many predictive models to use, how they work with each other, all of that is also given with our implementation on top of the resources. So you don't have to worry about lack of confidence in technological aspects because the platform that we bring is created for subscription businesses and proven on subscription businesses. And as Brandon showed earlier, has delivered tens of millions of dollars in value for them, right? And the next couple of ones are, I don't have the data. Now, we believe that everyone is sitting on a lot of data. This is actually, within like first couple of hours of us going on site and talking about the basic data points, right? Let's take a retention solution, right? You want to implement retention, customer retention for your customers, right? The basic data that we need is when did the customer start with you and give us 3 years of historical cancels, right? That's really the basic. And by the way, where are you servicing? Even if you give us the zip code and the address, we have ways to look up that data, bring the home, bring the neighborhood, bring all the attributes, all of that. No business runs, by the way, without collecting payments. Show us how you're collecting payments. That is going to add the value to AI. No business runs without some sort of support team. How is your call center working? Regardless of, they're operating in a very, basic CRM system or a very sophisticated Salesforce or Microsoft Dynamics or HubSpot or a homegrown solution, there is data that is floating there. So we know how to work with your payment data, how to work with your contract data, how to work with your customer activations and cancellations data. You may have surveys and things like that. So we will advise you on what rich data you already have that you are sitting on. And on top of it, we will bring third-party data that is proven to deliver value for subscription businesses, right? Because we have done this for subscription customers and our models are built on 20 million plus active and canceled subscriptions. So there is a lot of data patterns that we have already mastered, right? So data is rarely a problem in our implementation. So you don't have to worry about that. And the final one, hey, this AI thing is telling me that I need to make this particular offer. How do I have the confidence? We have recognized this thing because we're not talking about AI. In the last couple of years when the world started talking about AI, as Brandon mentioned, we have been doing AI for more than 10 years. And we figured out, instead of just saying this is a high converting lead or this is a high risk to cancel account, we give reasons for that for every single prediction. We call them health indicators. This is because of lack of usage. They live in a particular neighborhood. They are price sensitive customer based on all the rest of the attributes and payment patterns and support patterns and things like that. AI loves all of these type of data inputs that we feed into these models, and it spits out the risk prediction or the lead score prediction or the price increase prediction along with supporting data, which we call health indicators, right? So you're going to quickly live in the right side world where all these barriers that Gartner has identified have been eliminated with our partnership with our AI Center of Excellence team that is led by a senior consultant who works as a mentor and a coach for C-level leaders and VP level leaders and things like that. And the rest is for that particular leader to bring the rest of the resources. So you don't really have to worry about all the barriers for failure, right? So now one might ask, is that it? If I have the resources, if I have the technology, is that it, right? And our observation has been that is giving you the enablers of success, whether it is technology that you have identified or the resources that you have identified, or even by partnering with VOZIQ, we got the technology, we are deploying the platform, we are deploying the transformation consultant and equipping that consultant with all the things. But there is one very, very important thing. This is identified, and I'm loving it when I saw this thing from Booz Allen Hamilton. That is change management, right? So we can enable these things, we deploy these things, we can celebrate this thing, right? but did we realize the ROI? The secret to success here is change management, right? We have this little chart on the right side. With every technology, you can go back and look at your CRM implementations, your marketing solution implementations, your field service implementations, whatever project that is reasonable size that is expected to deliver millions of dollars in value. You can see this thing, right? First, all the resources, instead of doing their previous work, they're now working on this project. So that is where there is negative value, right? So these resources are now working on something enabling. If we don't manage that change, that negative value will go longer, right? So it takes more time before you start seeing the value. And even if you see the value, if you don't manage this change well, you're going to see only partial value and not the full value, right? So as we are seeing on the right side, I'm just going to read this thing because this is such an important thing in our opinion and our experience. Operationalizing AI, truly embedding AI in the way you work cannot happen without full engagement and support from employees throughout your organization. This makes change management a uniquely important process for addressing the human side of any new initiative, particularly the ones as complex as AI, right? So we strongly believe this thing. We have seen this thing when change management is very effective. We see tremendous value. When change management is so-so, or we skip the steps, we see the consequences. So we bring all these experiences for your success. So we put high value there. Now, what do we do about change management, right? So the consultants that are working on your projects will go through the methodology that we strongly apply for every single implementation. Is created by an experienced business transformation consultant by name John Cotter. There's a book written on this topic, Leading Change. And in that book, he highlights 8 steps to leading change methodology. We fully adopt this. The picture in the middle is highlighting that, right? See, no big change is going to happen. It's common sense, right? No big change happens without a sense of urgency, right? So what is your wildly important goal? Is sales your wildly important goal? Is profitability your wildly important goal? Is retaining your customers, your wildly important goal? What is the sense of urgency? Or is it the competition and maybe this economic climate is putting some pressure on us and we have to get out of the hole? Whatever that sense of urgency might be, that needs to be first communicated and not really rushed to number 6. Let's just work on this and generate all the wins. Wins will not happen unless the rest of the team is understanding the sense of urgency. So step 1 is always, that create a sense of urgency when you have that, big, wildly important goal that you're going after, right? And then it just talks about the rest of the steps. Build a guiding coalition. By the way, you have these teams. They're called your marketing team. They're called your field support team. They're called your customer support team. They're called your finance team. Bring the team together on this one common mission, whatever that mission is, right? Only then big change happens. Otherwise, it's a small change. Form a strategic vision, enlist a volunteer army, enable actions by removing barriers. These might be new ways of doing things, maybe proactive offers, different types of offers, different types of tests. There will be hurdles in the process. We might need to make some decisions and maybe incentivizing employees in a different way to generate that success quickly, right? So when you go through all these things in this particular order, we have seen humongous change happening, right? So first you generate those short-term wins, and then you accelerate the change and basically create a new way of AI-driven operations. So we have codified this process, and our process really starts with what we call a bootcamp. Doug will talk more about how we start this process. Many of these critical steps for success will be identified. We work with the senior leaders to set up that expectation on how important this is to bring all your marketing and field and all of that, and how important it is for us to inspect your data first before you deploy the solution, right? So during the boot camp, Doug will give more details about this. We will align with your wildly important goal first. Then we will review your existing data, identify the top data sources that we can recommend for you based on our experience. We will also review the possible use cases that AI can deliver value for you. and we socialize, what is the value and what are the different tactical approaches with your core teams. These core teams are nothing but all your sales and marketing and, support and field service and all finance teams and all of that, right? And then what results is a strong business case that is 100% in alignment with your core needs, with your data, with your priorities, that is proven to have high ROI. And then, the rest of the steps become very, very easy for us. We can work on step number 2, which is quick wins, because this is well socialized, well articulated with the rest of the teams, and nicely prioritized on what goes first and what goes next and things like that. Then we organize these monthly check-ins and things like that as part of quick wins. And then as we go into the last few steps in the leading change methodology, right, this is time for scaling, because by that time we have generated short-term wins and celebrated those short-term wins. Now there is a lot more belief in AI-driven transformation within your organization. This is the time where you take this AI from your call center or your marketing channel, put it in your mobile app, put it in your SMS thing, put it in your field support, right? You can now take the same AI that is proven in one customer support channel and taken into multiple channels. Now, same thing with use cases. You might have started with lead scoring, or you might have started with AI-driven price optimization. Now let's expand this into win-backs. Let's expand this into retention, additional use cases, because there is a lot of belief within your team, right? So we strongly recommend this thing. It's called 8 Steps to Leading Change. It works on many, many transformational projects. We have seen this thing, highly, highly recommend this for you and your teams, right? Now, the other one, this is more strategic in nature. This is more like, how do you deliver millions of dollars in transformation, right? Somewhere in the process, we're going to get down to day-by-day actions, what data point, what next step and all these things. And there is another methodology that we have found to be a successful element in this entire leading change methodology, which is another methodology from, this is a book from Franklin Covey. It's called 4 Disciplines of Execution. Again, highly, highly recommend. In fact, I will recommend this so heavily. This book is probably $20 or something like that. Buy that book for yourself and buy 10 more copies for all your team. That will be the best $250 that you have ever spent if you're working on a project that has millions of dollars in value, because it works. And I'm going to unpack this thing and explain why this works when you're implementing, AI-driven transformation or any big transformation that has millions of dollars in potential, right? So this talks about 4 disciplines of execution. And we built our solution on top of the change management guidance and all these things by following this precise methodology, right? So now discipline 1 is, this one talks about the idea of a wildly important goal. Now, what is a wildly important goal? This might be, I want to transform my business by increasing sales by 20%, or I want to drive my unit economics by optimizing the prices, right? By 10%, 15%, right? So whatever that wildly important goal might be. So that is what they call wildly important goal. Unfortunately, you may have an organization that has 500 employees or 1,000 employees or multiple thousand employees. What this book is saying on the left side is, our research has shown that only 15% of the employees actually know organization's most important goal. The senior leader is thinking that is the number 1 goal. Now, as we go into the frontline employees, only few are able to articulate what is the number 1 goal for the organization. Somewhere in the middle, it is all lost, because the goals are transformed into 50 other different goals, and they don't know the most important goal versus all these little goals, right? So it introduces this idea of the wildly important goal, and then it also introduces the idea of lead measure, right? So in this book, they actually talk about, simple terms, right? If your wildly important goal is to lose weight, the lead measure for lose weight is, because, unfortunately, I cannot lose weight tomorrow. The lead measure for that is how many minutes of exercise that I'm doing, right? And that is something, if I do exercise consistently, 6 months later, 1 year later, I'm losing my weight, right? So instead of worrying about losing weight, I only have to worry about the lead measure that is completely in my control. Now, for retention, what is the lead measure? How many proactive offers are we making? How many touch points do we have? How many contacts do we have? And this is something that we can measure every single day. You can take retention, you can take sales lead scoring. How many quotes are we generating? How many contacts are we making? How many follow-ups are we doing? This is what they call take these lead measures and create a scoreboard, right? So my phone is my scoreboard for my health goal. How many minutes of exercise and things like that, it's helping. But for the rest of the business leaders, maybe these are your dashboards, right? These dashboards are quickly tracking, the offers and the touch points and, what is working, what is not working, break it down by segments, break it down by employees. All these dashboards are already pre-created within the VOZIQ solution, right? Now, the fourth discipline is also the very important one. This is where you create a cadence of accountability. This is where you meet weekly, where you review these dashboards. We actually push these reports. We push these dashboards links to the rest of the organization by creating this leading change methodology. Now, this entire framework is implemented. So now when you tie all these things together, the Booz Allen Hamilton change management recommendation, Gartner, barriers to success, how VOZIQ is responding to each of them with our single point of contact for transformational consulting, supported by the rest of the resources, and introducing 8 steps to leading change, and then introducing this, 4 disciplines of execution methodology. We are able to deliver tens of millions of dollars in value, right? So all these leaders on the right side that we are showing on the screen have realized this. Edmund Mackey from Aptiv, $30 million of customer lifetime value. By the way, all these examples that you're seeing, they're subscription businesses, exactly like you. 30 million value. Derek Carter from FrontPoint, another subscription business, 10 million value and more to be realized on the way. Veronica, 100 million value, right? So these are not everyday average projects, but AI has huge potential, exactly like what the PwC survey is saying. But the key to success is not just the platform, but think about change management. Our consultants have been certified on Six Sigma, have been certified on project management, but we believe that is not enough. The secret to success is leading change understanding to deliver real value out of AI, and also the 4 disciplines of execution that you don't have to worry about, the lead measures and the lag measures. All of that is incorporated into the solution and the execution for us, right? Huge fan of creating business cases like this, executing those business cases like this, inviting our senior leaders back onto webinars, sharing their success stories so many others can benefit from these types of real possibilities that are enabled by AI. So with that as the summary, I would love to have a one-on-one call with you, talk about your situation, how VOZIQ can help. In particular, our AI Center of Excellence can help in bringing AI for you and deliver that success. With that, I will pass it to Doug.
Okay, thank you, Vasu. Thanks for setting the table for me. So here's the big question that I get often on our first meetings are, how do we get started working together? So we're offering a no-cost, right, no-cost bootcamp using enterprise-grade VOZIQ AI software aimed at a specific set of subscription economic use cases that we'll collaborate and identify which ones are, as Vasu said, which ones are the wigs. And then our bootcamp isn't about abstract learning or using pre-baked apps. Our boot camps enable participants to tackle their real-world subscription-based use cases and see the results in less than 90 days using your data. This bootcamp will empower thought leaders like you to drive the next level of subscription growth using a proven methodology fueled by VOZIQ's AI that will be guided by an experienced team of solution experts. So within 90 days, right, as Vasu talked about, you're going to start seeing, there's going to be aha moments all along the way, but within 90 days, you'll discover the transformative power using VOZIQ AI with your data. Here's what, this is just feedback from our customers. I always go back to our customers after the boot camps, and I'm like, what worked, what didn't work, and here's what they tell us. Here's why the boot camps have been so successful. They tell us we start off with a maturity assessment whereby we evaluate your mission-critical applications that support your subscription business today. Number 2, we'll then develop a business case and ROI for an AI-led transformation. Number 3 is a quick launch. I mean, we don't waste any time. We get right to it. Our team will consume and analyze your data. That will fast track the process. We'll host weekly meetings. Vasu and his team will host weekly meetings to ensure the use case results are in line with your expectations and the success criteria. And just to combine steps 4 and 5, when the project is approved, there's a seamless transition from a live sandbox, right, where we're using live production enterprise-grade software to a scaled-out production-ready solution. So VOZIQ AI comes fully interoperable ready. It's enterprise-grade software that will create transformational change for your organization. So you might be asking, scratching your head and saying, you know, why is this workshop going to be, if I'm investing, right, there's no money, right, but there's some time and resources internally, and, you know, we understand there's some, I'll say, soft costs associated with that. So here's why the workshop's a game changer, and it's worthwhile for you to really consider it and invite us in. We go beyond the pilot exercise by identifying opportunities and gaps by way of a white space analysis exercise. We perform a survival study and create a roadmap for success. The feedback we get from our business champions is this: they have everything they need to leverage AI to drive transformational change in their organization. They tell us it's because the results of the bootcamp produced a production-ready platform. This isn't, you know, some slideware gig. This is a production-ready platform that at the end of the 90 days, you can turn on and roll it out and scale it within your organization. The business applications are tailored for their unique use cases using highly tuned models that's supported by an experienced team that Vasu talked about, of consulting team, that has become a trusted advisor over the course of the 90-day engagement. And to ensure your personal success as being our champion, and get buy-in from your decision makers, at the end of the 90 days, we'll host and present in person an executive level readout that outlines the top subscription growth opportunities for your specific organization based on the use cases that we hand selected. And by the way, these opportunities are the ones that we proved using your data in the bootcamp. The executive readout includes a review of the business case, the ROI analysis, and implementation roadmap.
Okay.
Next slide, please. So as we wrap up the webinar, I'd like to thank you for your time and interest. I have 2 offers to share with you, as I mentioned at the beginning. Number 1 is an AI-enabled growth strategy bootcamp. This will provide you with insight to your current customer retention programs, supporting processes, technology, and areas for subscription revenue improvement. And finally, all the attendees on this webinar, we're offering a 50% discount for the first year on our AI software and services to help you retain your most valuable asset, your customers. Thank you for your time today. Please let us know if you have any questions by way of the chat box, and I'm going to turn it back to Brandon for closing.
I'll see how my audio holds up here, but as my connection isn't stable, I've also posted my thoughts in chat. If your company has been wondering how to incorporate AI within your organization but don't know how to start, VOZIQ AI is a natural choice. We remove the risk associated with AI. We have a proven track record of success. We can help you add, keep, and grow your customer base. We combine a proven software solution with a team of consultants that work with your team for the duration of our partnership. Our bootcamp gives you a chance to work with us at no cost to see how our partnership works and to gain comfort with the relationship. So give us a chance to show you our solution.
Thank you everyone for joining today. Have a nice weekend. Hopefully, we'll get in touch and we will be able to look at your data and help you with your AI journey. Thank you all.